The views expressed in this program do not necessarily reflect those of this station. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to Insights into Northeast Michigan, a WBKB News public affairs program. Insights deals with the issues affecting those in the community, as well as Northeast Michigan and the state. And now, Insights into Northeast Michigan.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Insights. I'm Alexandra Johnson. Today I'm sitting down with Larry Clark on the Alvar shoreline of Squaw Bay, and we're going to be talking a little bit about US 23 South and the redevelopment. But what I want to start off with first, Larry, is tell me a little bit about the history of this area.
Well, first of all, Alexandra, I'd like to thank you and WBKB for all that you've done for us at Taking Pride in Alpena initiative and for meeting us out here today on this beautiful day.
Yeah, we're glad to be involved.
Well, thank you again. Let me give you a brief history of this effort. It started in, I'd say about 2011 with two residents from Bear Point, Gary Partika and Don Duvall. They decided they wanted to do something about all of the trash that was being thrown out of automobiles and blown around on US 23. So on their morning walks from the Bear Point subdivision to McDonald's, they took a couple of Neiman's bags with them and just started picking up trash on the way. Well, then after a period of time, they started noticing tires and such in ditches and started cleaning those out of the ditches. And back in 2012, they asked me to be involved in the project. We started working with a number of businesses will be on your show today, two of them, and decided to consolidate effort between cleanups and commercial revitalization of US 23 at that particular point. And it's just amazing, even to us, on how the public has supported us with the project and the various successes that have happened along the way. We had the Boys and Girls Club of Alpena, for example, paint 35 fire hydrants for us 2 years ago. The Air Force Reserve from Wright-Patterson Air Force Base through Habitat for Humanity painted 2 houses that year. Last year, a number of teenagers from the Navigator Scout crew helped us paint sign poles and the like. Residents took out old posts and just cleaned up and down US 23. And it has really started to make a difference. Every little thing helps, they say, and it's really started to really show well.
So it all started with just a few groups of people who said, we need to help make our community a little bit more beautiful by picking up the trash. And then those groups got together and kind of consolidated and said, let's work on this together.
That's exactly what happened. Bonnie Plowman, who's very involved in the garden club with her husband John and son Steve Plowman, they decided that some flower pots would look good on US 23. So they purchased 40 pots and put flowers in them, and we'll have them out again this year for the 3rd year.
Okay, now talking about the redevelopment of this entire area, I know a lot of people in our community have heard about it and they want to know, what exactly is the redevelopment? What is it going to be?
Well, one of the things, an opportunity on US 23, in addition to cleaning up, is revitalization of the commercial core. The particular area of US 23 was developed in the 50s and 60s, and one business after another would go in and add their own driveway to US 23. Utility lines were put in, crisscrossing each other, and over time there hasn't been an update. So our plan is to take that and reduce the number of driveways and add service roads where applicable, and then also revitalize the whole area by making it more pedestrian friendly. Right now it's car friendly, but certainly not pedestrian friendly. So the vision is to add a sidewalk on the west side of the road with trees and park benches. ACC is interested in supplying some art for that, and just give it all a facelift.
Now, how do you think this redevelopment, how do you think it's going to benefit our community as well as tourists?
Well, that's a great question. Certainly, Alpena is on the move again, and with new motels coming in, new retailers, a lot of activity at our air base, and we want to capitalize on that growth on US 23 South as well. We have a unique blend of medium and smaller size retailers that have a lot to offer. And we want to encourage shoppers to check out 23, whether here in town or certainly if they live here. But also, it's not just about the business development, it's also about the residents that live here and around Alpena and tourists that come in. On 23 South, we really haven't developed this unique, beautiful area here on Squaw Bay that you see today, and certainly all around Thunder Bay. So we want to provide various recreational amenities, such as 2 parks, one at the 45th parallel, one here, bicycle paths to connect them all together, and a canoe and kayak livery at this location.
So it's not only for tourists to go biking or kayaking or to bring them into the community, but it's also to give members of our community something to do, right?
Yes, give our various residents here, give them something to do. It's going to create jobs, we feel. It's certainly going to bring tourists here and bring tourist dollars to our community. And the people that live here, it'll be just a great asset for them because they'll have parks and bicycle paths and water toys options at their disposal right here in their backyard.
Now, is there a timeline set for when all of the redevelopment will be complete?
Yes, there is. First of all, we're executing our 3rd annual US 23 highway cleanup on May 16th. We encourage people to come out. It's from 9 to 2 o'clock. We're meeting at the Kmart parking lot at 9 a.m. Lunch and refreshments will be provided. Our goal is to clean up both sides of the highway. In case of rain, it'll be on May 30th. So that's an important event. Also over the summer, our goal is to paint buildings on the 23 corridor. And past that, right now we have a grant submitted through the Department of Environmental Quality, DEQ. It's called a Coastal Zone Management Grant. And this grant is unique in that its purpose is to help communities that are within a Great Lake shoreline of so many 1,000 feet. And we're going to be using that for planning and design work by hiring a professional landscape architect to draw up the plans that we've mentioned today, the commercial corridor revitalization, the 2 parks, and the various bike paths.
Okay, so we do have an overall planner to kind of plan out the whole area and make sure everything is cohesive, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. As part of that grant, it's a $70,000 grant for the initial planning and design work. We need to come up with a $30,000 match, and we have a fundraiser going on where people can donate and contribute merchandise. You'll hear more about that later, where the public can really get involved in this great project. We've made strides already toward our goal, and but we have until July 15th to be able to declare that we'll have the $30,000 in cash or in-kind services to the DEQ.
So just a couple more months until that happens. But like you said, in the meantime, a good way for the community to get involved is through the fundraisers and then the cleanup on May 16th. So those are just
correct.
A couple ways then.
That's right.
Okay. All right, Larry. Well, I want to thank you so much for being on our show. And when we come back, we will be sitting down with Hal Neiman, who's going to tell us a little bit more about the redevelopment. Welcome back to Insights, everyone. I'm now sitting down with Hal Neiman, and Hal is going to tell us a little bit more about the redevelopment of US 23 South. How are you, Hal?
Hi, good morning. Thank you again for coming out here and participating in this effort. This is fantastic.
Yeah, we're really excited to be a part of it as well and kind of get the idea out there.
The birds are helping out too in the background. That's
They are.
great.
It is a beautiful day.
It is indeed.
First off, I just want to start off asking, how did you become involved with this project?
It's interesting to watch how the 2 different groups came together. Bob Young and Dennis Schultz and I were having coffee from time to time talking about what do we need to do on 23 South? How can we make this become different than what we've seen in other places? How can it be special? And we started talking, then we heard about Larry, his group and Gary's group, and I said, wow. Next thing you knew, we were meeting on a regular basis and just putting in a lot of time and energy and enjoying it.
So tell me a little bit about what are the redevelopment plans that we're going to see?
Basically what we're talking about is trying to create an environment where it's not just businesses, but it's a community. As you enter into really Northeast Michigan, And coming into Squaw Bay, you're going to be able to have the opportunity to see that it's a quality of life that's here. Why not take advantage of the enormously beautiful community we have already, the basic raw material, and just create something really special? So we're going to see, for example, you're going to potentially see places where people can ride their bikes and take walks and feel comfortable, not worried about getting run over by trucks and cars and vehicles, and also know that they can enjoy the community, enjoy just driving into Squaw Bay and where hopefully a park will be, so that you can look out over the trees and see the eagle sitting there and know that you're able to look out over Lake Huron and watch the sunrise. And it's just an absolutely breathtaking experience if we take advantage of it.
I know, it's definitely, I've never been out here, and it is very, very beautiful out here. I'm glad I was able to make it. So you definitely think this is going to be a positive for our community?
Yeah,
then?
I think the thing is, so many times in a lot of areas across the state, you'll see where development occurs and without really pre-planning. And we've got this raw area that has the opportunity, and that's why I'm so excited to see Larry and those guys working on this study, getting a professional job done, so that we really start out with a good plan and get one that really will benefit not just the business community, but all the residents that live here and all the people that drive through or want to stop and be a part of this.
Now, can you tell me a little bit about the efforts that it's taken to get to the point where we are? Because I know a lot of people in the community are helping you out with this.
Yeah, we've watched every year people have contributed to the effort, the one-day cleanups. You've got different businesses, but also a tremendous number of community residents participating. And I think the other thing is the volunteers in this little group. Nobody's getting paid, as Larry said. The reality is that we're all just trying to be a part of it and be a part of our community. So the volunteers that have gotten together in this steering committee are just contributing their time, and we're fortunate to have a member or two now of the township board involved with us, so that's helping create that bond between the government and the business and the residents. So it's kind of a kumbaya experience in some ways, so it's really great.
So it's people from every different part of the community who have
Absolutely.
made this happen then?
Absolutely, and it's continuing to grow, and that's what we're really hoping to see happen. We've got a lot of work ahead of us. That $30,000 of cash and kind efforts are important to get this off the road, and we've got a deadline of July 15th, so we want to get out there. One of the tasks I'm helping to participate in with the resident staffing help is to contact the community business people and say, look, give us what you can. I'm proud to say that the steering committee alone has contributed not just time but dollars all along the way, but even recently, again, they're into $700 to $1,000 worth of dollars that they've put in to make this thing get going. And so it's exciting to see it happening, and we're going to go out and say, remind you, this is not just about doing something for yourself. This is doing something for yourself, your kids, your grandkids, people down the road. So it's going to be an exciting time. Just look at what's happened, even without the thing yet starting off the ground in the last 2-3 years. If you've ever driven down 23 prior to that time, you've seen the Cadridge auto repair shop, the Chinese places will fix stuff, Alpena Mall with Brian Winter having fixed his facility up. Art Van and Bob Young have put tons of dollars into it. We've spent a fair amount of money in creating a corner cafe along with other changes. And I'm sure I'm missing, Plowman's. I mean, you could go on, and that's all happened in the last few years because people are beginning to believe that this can be something special.
Now, speaking of some of these businesses that are involved in redoing their businesses to help out with this project, how is it going to benefit the businesses in our area?
Well, it's going to help everybody. I think even the township has to recognize what a benefit is. As we enhance our facilities, as our business grows up, that means more tax revenue for them. The advantage is that people want to come here, not just to shop at one store and then leave, but they, oh my goodness, that's an area where we can spend the morning looking for a variety of things that we need in our day-to-day lives. So we're looking forward to that continuing and expanding. More people will want to come, more businesses will want to enter, but more important, I think at least equally important, is the fact that we're going to have members of the community and people who want to live here and move here. Retirees are a big group in this, and we've seen a lot of them coming. This is going to be another reason to come, not just to get stuck in some apartment someplace, but to take advantage of probably one of the most beautiful views in the entire state is right here in Northeast Michigan and right here in our little community.
So it's good for not only the people who live here, but to bring in tourists and maybe bring more people even to live in our area and continue to grow the area then as well.
It's really an issue about quality of life, and we are going to spend only so much time on Mother Earth, so let's try to make sure that we enjoy those moments, and why not live in a place where you're proud, you get to know your neighbors, both your business neighbors and your resident neighbors. It's just an exciting thing. It's happened already. We're seeing it. We know each other so much better now than we did just a few years ago.
So I want to talk about the $30,000 that has to be raised by July 15th. Are you just asking business owners in the area to donate to that, or what are you doing?
Right, thank you. No, we are going to obviously do that. That's important. They have a stake in this. They have a skin in the game to say. But we also know that the residents have clearly shown that they want to be a part of it. So some of the guys like Gary and others, Don, are going to try to go out and also do door-to-door. They're going to talk to them on that day that we have our cleanup. In fact, Neimers are going to serve the best quality hot dog they have on that morning, so they can make sure that everybody will get a full belly as well as clean up the area.
They'll be ready to go to
well,
clean up.
That's right.
Then.
We're going to make it happen. So I just think that the advantage will be that we can really get everybody together and find that this is really fun and creating even the experience is a better improvement than what we were doing before.
All right, Hal. Well, I want to thank you so much for being on the show and helping us to understand a little bit better about what's going on out here.
Thank you.
All right, and when we come back to Insights, I will be sitting down with Bob Young, who is another business owner in our area. Welcome back to Insights, everyone. For my third guest today, I'm here with Bob Young, who is another business owner in our area and also a part of the redevelopment team. How are you, Bob?
Fine, Lacey. Good morning. First of all, welcome to the 45th parallel. You're halfway to the North Pole.
I know, I am.
And this is a great view of Northeast Michigan, so this
really
is a great spot.
It is. It's, as I've said before, it's so beautiful out here, and I had no idea it was here, but I'm glad you guys brought me out here today.
Sure. Do you want us to zoom in on actually the area? Would that be helpful?
I was going to ask you, we've talked about the plans earlier in the show, but now I want you to actually show me the plans and where everything's going to happen.
For those folks that are traveling on US 23 North, which you're 23 into Alpena, they lose sight of where they are. And this is the first spot at Squaw Bay where one can see Lake Huron. So I'm going to point into where we are this morning. We're right here at Squaw Bay. Mm-hmm. And if the camera can get it, this is Partridge Point, followed by Bear Point, and the red line would indicate US 23 coming in. We thought for this project that we needed a beachhead or a spot that one could, as you're traveling up 23, see Lake Huron for the first time without peeking through somebody's cottage from Harrisville. It's the last time you can really see the lake. So as you're sitting here behind us, there is Squaw Bay, and out behind that Sulphur Island. It's federally owned property, and a very iconic spot is the 45th parallel lookout where people do the 45th selfie, if you will, get out of their cars.
Yeah, they want to stop and take a picture.
All right, so it's not safe.
Right, so right on the highway, so it's kind of dangerous to take a picture right there.
Very much so. So we're off the highway now, but somewhere here we'd like to have a park developed, and there are many processes to make it happen. So a park here, a lookout area, but also with the bicyclists, not only the motor traffic, but the pedestrian and bicyclists and kayakers. A spot here as well as at the park. We're at the Alvar Shoreline Park. There's a 50-acre area that the DNR and the township are working on. So as part of our plans, this would be a very crucial part of it. And also, how do you get there? Well, bicycle routing around Partridge Point, possibly even through the woods. So very green, very natural as an outshoot of our business development as well. So kayaking, bicycling, bird viewing is all part of it, and I can tell you that many residents of Alpena have never set foot here.
I know. It's very hidden. It's back here on a gravel road, so I'm sure a lot of people haven't seen it.
No, so we're identifying some very good nature spots. There's a nature conservancy just across the street, so it's green, it's natural, and I think what a gateway into Alpena. So it's not just the city or the township. Both have about 10,000 people. But as you enter Alpena in this gateway, we just think it's criminal not to develop this properly, and that's why the fundraiser's coming, but we need professional help to do so. So it's all a major job from the fellows and gals on the street picking up trash, as well as our businesses. So a lot's going on.
Now I know you say the bike path where people can ride their bikes all the way back here to the point, but is there actually going to be kind of a main road where people could drive back here so they could bring their kayaks and hop right into Lake Huron?
Well, I sure hope so. So yeah, all means to get here. So the yellow dot, if one can pick that up, and we'll probably come back later to have a close-up of this, but the yellow dot would depict the current Partridge Point Road, so most assuredly you can get here by automobile. So either at this spot, this one, and then through the woods, the bicycle trails, that would be better. Right now there's a bike path that ends somewhere up by Bear Point area. It stops in that area. But with the egress that Larry has talked about, that there's so many driveways there that it's not a very pleasant place to bike yet.
Right.
So we want to make that so it's not bumping through that, and we'd really like to develop it through the woods so you can see the shoreline more and see the woods. And as an outreach to the city of Alpena, what a great way that would be. I'd like to see bicycling and walking be popular out this way.
Definitely, I would too. It's another form of transportation and in such a beautiful area.
Yes.
And there's also going to be nature pathways as well as the bike paths.
Oh,
correct?
heavens. And as Larry said earlier, there's so many things we can talk about. But Hal came out with an idea a while back about iconic rocks that you would have. That each would depict a sunken ship, talking about this being the sanctuary and the gateway to the sanctuary, so that all of these sunken vessels, one could take your smartphone, click it, and bring yourself right into town. So be involved in NOAA, in the sanctuary.
That would be
and
very cool.
Just a great idea.
It is. It really is, in a way for people to use their technology to connect with the area.
That's
well.
right. That's right.
Let's talk a little bit about the fundraisers. Now, I know we talked a little bit about it with Hal, but tell us a little bit more about the fundraisers that are happening coming up.
Yes, there's two, and there's several behind-the-scenes things where folks can donate. So not just US 23 South, but if you're a resident or a tourist, you can donate to help support this, because it's going to take a lot of money. I'm personally involved with a fundraiser with St. Vincent de Paul. They are right in the heart of what we do. They've generously donated their facility to gather merchandise and or services one would have at their store from the 12th of May ending on the 15th of July. So we're not going to take their place too long. But in the 2-month time, our plan is to generate about $10,000 in sales of merchandise there. So businesses can donate. Folks that have dentist office, car shops can donate services. Or if you're a citizen and want to donate something. We had one who had worked with Orvis, the fly fishing company. She said, would you think that would be appropriate? Bring on anything you've got, be they cash or merchandise, and then of course buy them. And then once we accumulate $30,000, we will do this to have the survey done.
And that's coming up pretty quick. You said May 12th, correct?
May 12th is the start of it, and then there are 3 fundraisers, without the D, that Dennis Schultz and the Snyders at the bowling alley, at the Thunder Bowl. I believe I've got the dates right. May 22nd, June 19th, and then July 17th are the dates of a bowling contest. So it's $60 a lane. We think we can raise up to $10,000 in bowling.
Let's hope so.
So if you like to bowl, would you like to bowl?
I do. I
Well.
do, and I'm pretty good. I'll say that.
All right. So if BKB can come through and sponsor a team, we'll see you there. We'll see who's good.
Yes. We'll
All
see
right.
what we can do then.
All right, very good.
And before we go today, I just want to ask you, what are your overall hopes for this area and this project?
All right, they're twofold, certainly. One is basically for the bicycling and enjoying what the birders do, what the bicyclists do, what the tourists need to see to develop this end of town, if you will. That is just something that has to be done. Secondarily, that will just cause a refresh to happen out this way, so that Hal and Dennis and myself and others will revitalize our businesses, as many of us have done, to make it more fun to be here. So it's about business, it's about ecology, it's about making Alpena a much better place.
Definitely, and I hope that's what it does. I hope that's what this project ends up doing once it's finally finished. But I want to thank you so much, Bob, for being here today, and I want to thank Hal and Larry as well for being on this show. And hopefully you guys will be able to get involved in some of these fundraisers. So thanks so much for tuning into Insights today.
Insights into Northeast Michigan is produced by WBKB News. If you have any comments, suggestions, or topics you would like to see on a future show, please email WBKB News. This has been a production of Thunder Bay Broadcasting Corporation. All rights reserved.